Hi, everyone. Max Emmer here from Emmer Law, and I'm excited to announce the visit by my friend and colleague and fellow attorney, Josh Lowenthal of the law offices of Joshua A. Lowenthal, where he focuses on estate planning, tax, and business matters. Josh and I are going to talk about a few different topics and a few different segments here to illustrate the importance and the significance and what to look for when you're getting an estate plan, some tips and tricks to look for on the estate planning lawyer you work with, and then the interplay in our practices of family law, divorce, and estate planning, and why it's such a good point and opportunity to either review or establish or reestablish your estate plan after a life cycle event like a divorce. Josh, how are you? Thanks for hopping on today.
I'm doing well, Max. Thanks for having me.
Can you tell everyone just a little bit about you and your practice? I might have covered it, but just kind of what you do, how you do it, the who, what, where, when, why, if you will.
Absolutely. So you hit most of the key points here. I'm an estate planning, tax, and business lawyer. So that's that sounds like a lot. It's really not as much as I make it sound. But basically, what I do is, as a virtual lawyer, I work entirely remotely with people, meeting them wherever they are in their home, at work, on the road, ideally not on the road. And I help them prepare their estate plans, work through what estate planning is. I help business owners, right, start, run, and exit their businesses, as well as any of the tax implications that kind of bleed into both sides of the equation here, both in terms of estate planning, if we have tax planning needs, as well as with businesses, any of their tax planning issues as well.
Great. So, Josh, let's start with kind of the simple. When I refer you a client or you have a new estate planning client, what is included in a quote unquote standard estate plan? And why is an estate plan either necessary, recommended, or beneficial to a person or party?
Absolutely. So, estate plans, a lot of times, especially millennials, Gen Zs, kind of think of these as like a foreign concept, right? It's like, oh, it's something I'll do when I go retire
Or my
after,
grandparents do, or my
right?
parents. We're in our 30s, we have young children, but I think no one wants to think about these things, a will and what happens to my kid. And I think a lot of people put it off. But it's important not to for a host of reasons, right?
Exactly, exactly. I mean, it's estate planning is really just good practice, right? I mean, you have home insurance, right? You have life insurance, and really, all an estate plan is a plan is both actions that you take as well as legal documents that we create. So actions really meaning that you're updating certain policies, you're updating your life insurance policy, you're updating your retirement accounts to make sure that the beneficiaries are the people that you care most about today, right? Your family, your spouse, your children, whoever that may be. And then it also includes several key legal documents. I say four, sometimes five. The first is what we call your last will and testament, right? You go, whenever we watch movies, we see that, the will reading. This is an expression of your final wishes on what you want to happen after you've passed away with all of your stuff. So we have our will. The second is your financial powers of attorney. This document allows you to name somebody who can step into your shoes to manage your financial situation on your behalf.
Okay.
The third is what we call your medical power of attorney. This document is really there to allow somebody else, for you to name somebody else, a trusted person, typically a spouse, sometimes brothers, sisters, moms, dad, to make medical decisions on your behalf if, God forbid, you're in the hospital and you cannot participate in those decisions yourself. The last document that comes with a core estate plan is what we call a HIPAA authorization, right? HIPAA being the healthcare law passed in the mid 90s, just allows you to share with your doctors who they can provide information to. Now, that's four documents. I say sometimes there's a fifth because the last one in there is a living trust. Living trust is a separate legal entity for legal purposes that holds all of your assets, right? Your house, your bank accounts, retirement accounts, insurance proceeds from life insurance. And all of that passes after your death without having to go through a process called probate.
Okay. And probate, for those out there, the non-probate lawyers, probate is the court and legal intervention of the dispensation and distribution of your estate, which at best is an added cost and inconvenient, at worst is very intrusive and burdensome, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. So probate, as you put it, right, is just the legal process of going through the courts to retitle and transfer all of your assets to your heirs, right? Whether that's your spouse, your kids. If you have no spouse or no kids, then your parents and brothers and sisters, cousins, etc. And yeah, I mean, usually this can be an added cost anywhere from $2,500 in today's dollars to, if things got very messy, right, a lot of intra-family fighting, it can become a years-long court process.
Right. And no one wants to spend money fighting about or disposing of the property you're inheriting. So to me, it
Exactly.
sounds like if you want to protect what you've accrued and worked hard for in your life for your family, get a basic estate plan in place so you know that your wishes and everything you want to happen will in an orderly, timely, and streamlined fashion.
Yep. 1,000%. I could not have said it
Well,
better
I
myself.
refer clients to Josh regularly for estate plans. He's great. We're going to put up his information, his website, and email. And if you want to get in contact with him, also reach out to me. Josh, pleasure. Thanks so much. Look forward to talking to you on a few other topics.
Yeah, thanks so much, Max.